Hi, I'm Madeline from Sheen Slings, and this is my review of the Beco 8 carrier. So Beco have a few different carriers, but the Beco 8 is the biggest carrier, the one with the most features. So I'm going to talk you through what it's like and its features from bottom up. I'm going to show you what it looks like with a baby in it, well, a fake baby. And then I'm going to talk about what age babies and children this will work for, the different positions you can do with it, and then I will compare it to other Beco carriers and also other brands that are similar to this, that are most similar to this. So I'm going to start at the waistband. And the first thing you'll notice is this waistband is quite wide. It's shaped, so it's thicker at the point where the baby is, so it gives you most support where the weight is. And then it narrows to the side, so it's not too bulky. And it's quite thick, and you will see it's also quite firm. It does shape, but it's pretty firm, so it's going to give you really good support around your waist and really good foundation for the rest of the carrier. You'll also notice it's got a lumbar pad. This is removable, so when you come to back carriers, you don't have to have it on your front. Also, if it doesn't fit you well, you don't like it, you can just take it off. Particularly parents who are very petite will find that they need to remove it because they won't get the carrier closed up, but they'll also find they won't need it because the ends of the carrier will almost meet. But for everyone else, this is often the part that really sells this carrier for people, because the shaping of it, if you see in my back, it really sits nicely in the lumbar and sort of radiates upwards, so really feels like it gives you some really great support. Before I put this on, I'm going to show you two other things about this waistband. So first of all, this is an infant insert, which I'll get back to in a second. And also you will notice that there are sort of two wings that are set together. This is the narrow position. This waistband adjusts. This is the narrow position, and then it is designed to plug in to make a wider seat. Again, I'll talk about that in a second. So let's get that done up. But I wanted to show you where it plugs in to make the wider seat. So if I get this on around my waist and on up, this does adjust from both sides, so you can find the bit that's easiest for you, but take your time to get that in the centre, get the lumbar panel in your lumbar, and then do up. I have to say that one thing I don't like about this carrier is the way that this one works with the lumbar support. It often gets caught up and you can't quite get it central because it's not sort of on the lumbar support really well. But anyway, it's worth taking some time with because you can get it right. It's just not as obvious as it looks. So I was talking about this. This is the infant insert. So this carrier is designed to be used right from newborn, and it's one of the rare buckle carriers that really will work from newborn. It might still feel quite bulky with a newborn, so often parents will opt for something else like a stretchy wraps, feels a bit lighter, but it does actually work really well. And part of the magic is in this infant insert, it's literally just pop it in, so it's really simple to take in and out once you don't need it. And it has two positions, so popped together. We have this really tiny little seat, which is perfect for a tiny newborn who's still crunched up to sit on, and their legs can come either side. Here, I will show with my doll, but she's much too big for this. You can see she can sit and her legs come either side. And then as baby grows, you can actually widen this to fit them. And this does two things. A, it means they don't have to have their legs outside the carrier if they're not ready for that. It also rises them up. So you'll see on my doll, she's not quite tall enough to sit in this without this, and this just means that it rises her up so that she's her head sticks out of the carrier and she's not swamped in. And then as your baby grows, you can take this out once you're ready to, and it just literally poppers out. You put it somewhere safe for next baby, or if you're sewing this carrier up. And then I can sit, then you would sit your baby directly in and bring the panel up. You'll notice, as I said, the panel is quite long, so for a younger baby, you are going to need to use that pad to raise them up. And you can see Selena's completely drowned in here. Or the other option you can do is just sit her a little bit deeper in so that the back panel just comes to the back of her neck. And that's what we're going to do for now. Now I will talk a bit more about the panel and the features here in a minute, but I'm going to move on to the shoulder straps. The really lovely thing about this carrier are these shoulder straps. You'll see they're really soft, really moldable. They're wide, so they really distribute the weight very well, but they're very moldable and really soft. And this is quite unusual in the carrier world. Most carriers are either firm and bulky here and then quite bulky on the shoulders as well, or very light here and very light there. This mismatch is quite, Beco is one of the few carriers that offer that mismatch, where you have really firm waist support and really soft on the shoulders. And it's something actually parents really like, because it just doesn't feel as bulky, it doesn't feel like they're wearing much, but they still feel really supported. In terms of the straps can be done up 2 ways. You can cross them, which is what I'm doing, and you can also wear them rucksack style. And you can wear them rucksack style because we have this chest strap, so you can have them so they plug in, and then you do the chest strap up behind you. And this will adjust for a range of different sizes of parents, because you can just simply slide it along here according to the length of your back, and up and down for when, it also comes in handy when you start back carrying. The other thing to notice about these straps are, you'll see we've got 2-way adjustable buckles, and they can be adjusted from here or from there, which means you can pull them forwards using this one, or you can pull them backwards using that one. And it just means it accommodates for a range of different flexibilities and what you can reach, and also makes it easier when you come to back carrying and using this carrier in different positions. And it also means it just fits a really wide range of parents, from the very petite up to the extra plus size. So I'm going to come back to the panel now. So as I talked about, this panel is quite long, and that's partly why we have the infant insert for younger children, but that means this carrier will last quite a while too. Likewise with the width of the seat that opens up as baby gets older, it means this carrier will last to about 2.5 years of age. It's weight tested from 3.2 kilos to around 20 kilos. And actually I would say that's fairly realistic. It will go, or, you know, it will go more realistically from a newborn, or at least a couple of weeks old, all the way through to 2.5 years of age. And another way in which it can grow with your babies, you can see the panel will come up and it will plug in just here to support as your baby grows. And another thing, if I bring this up, Sina obviously doesn't need it. Another thing you'll notice in here is we actually have a hood, and this just pulls out and again clips on to the poppers just up here. And that can be nice if it's raining, or if you have a baby that needs to have their head covered in order to get them to fall asleep. Or some parents will never use it and just leave it rolled up in here, where it provides a nice bit of padding. The other thing you will notice under here is we've got 2 zips, and that gives us some all seasons functionality. So if I tuck that back out of the way, you'll see I've now made the back of my carrier breathable. This is great for summer. Also great if you come in out of the cold and you're worried about baby overheating, you can just literally vent them. And you don't have to live with this flap. There's actually a place it tucks in down here under the baby. And you'll also notice there's also a pocket down here, which is useful for like phone or keys. It's not very big, but it will take a little bit of stuff. So the all seasons functionality can be really nice, and it does mean this carrier works equally well in winter and summer. So I've talked about how old babies can use it. In terms of positions, I've shown you the front carry. And again, this can be used right from newborn all the way to as long as you're still comfortable carrying them on your front, which often is around somewhere between 10 and 13 kilos. Parents will start to find this heavy. And at which point they'll move on to their back. So this carrier does also offer a back position, and that's how you're getting really out to those older ages, like 2.5 is by that point, from about a year onwards, baby will be on your back, and you will feel like anything, it's much more comfortable. Everything feels a lot lighter on your back. This carrier does also offer a hip position and a forward facing position. So once baby's got good strong neck and upper torso thing, babies can face outwards. It is worth noting the panel of this carrier is quite long. So this isn't one that fits babies really early. It's more like 4-5 months, realistically 5, maybe even 6 months, depends on the size and weight of your baby. But really we're looking for them to clear the panel. If you do have a baby who wants to face a little bit earlier, you can use the infant insert just to boost them up a little bit in the carrier, just so that they clear the top and and they can face out comfortably. But generally you're looking at not really fitting in this carrier to 5 months versus some of the other ones with a shorter panel, such as the Beco Gemini. So I'm going to compare this now to other carriers. This is actually really similar to the Beco Gemini, but really it's just the bigger version. The Beco Gemini has a slightly shorter panel, slightly less wide, and that means babies will fit it forward facing slightly earlier, but they have the same in terms of the waistband and the shoulder straps and all that jazz. The other thing is the Beco Gemini doesn't have stuff like the hood, it doesn't have the all seasons functionality. You can either buy the Beco Gemini in a mesh or in a cotton. You don't sort of get, whereas this one you get both. So really when parents are deciding between the Gemini and the Beco 8, this one does last longer because the panel is smaller on the Gemini. It doesn't last quite as long, but it has less bits and bobs, and people sometimes like the streamlined less and opt for the Gemini, whereas other people like other parents will prefer the longevity of this, and so therefore will pick this. There is of course a price differential. It's about £25 more expensive because this has more bits and pieces and bigger and longer lasting. In terms of other brands that this is most similar to, it's most similar to the Ergo Omni. It does all the same things as the Ergo Omni, and often when parents come in asking to try the Ergo Omni, they also try this. And then really which one they go for just depends on which one that fits them well. Others are the Two-Layer Explore and the Lily Baby Complete. In fact, the Lily Baby Complete and this are really similar, but again, they differ in terms of exactly how the waistband fits and exactly how the shoulder straps fit. So it's well worth trying any of those carriers on if you're after this functionality, trying any of those carriers on and working out which one fits you the best, because when people come to the Sing Library, they often have in their head that they've heard of one, but then they try it on and then they find something else fits their body the best. Really, I would hugely recommend any of those 4 carriers. It's just about which one you want, which one fits you best, and you can try them on at your local library or get in touch. I offer postal hires, and I can talk to you and work out which one is the best option for you. So I hope that's been helpful. This is the Beco 8.